Digong is finally facing a serious-minded legal institution. Si Digong, almost 8 years old. Bakit dinala dyan? Just a few days earlier, he was in Hong Kong and he seemed very healthy and strong. Libo-libo sa ating mga kaubayan na namatay. Desperate na yung mga ibang Duterte supporters kaya kung ano-anong ginagawa nila. Yung iba gusto mag-people power but last time I checked, parang halos 100 lang dumating dun sa kanilang mga rallies all across the countries. Digong himself suspended PNP operations on multiple occasions dahil marami dang scalawags. Everyone was in fear of Rodrigo Duterte. It was a climate of fear dahil napakabigat yung mga kaso laban kay Digong. Baka tatagal pa ito ng 6, 7, or 8 years. Some would say perhaps the rest of his life. Makasaysayan na araw ito, or at least the day we saw Rodrigo Duterte appearing before the judges of the International Criminal Court. By all indications, Rodrigo Duterte will be the first Asian leader to be tried by the International Criminal Court. Officially, the pre-trial proceedings will start later this year in September. But we already had a glimpse of what's coming for him. Nakita natin na si Digong is finally facing a serious-minded legal institution which is willing to hold him to account. His counselor and former consigliere, Executive Secretary Medial Dia, did not clearly get the memo. His statement, rather than a true defense of his client, was an appeal to emotion. And that clearly had no traction in that serious court. Last time I checked, Harry Roque is now positioning himself to be the defense counsel of the president or former president. After all, accredited siya bilang lawyer to appear before the ICC. Kaso, si Harry Roque mismo could face extradition back to the Philippines for his alleged involvement with illegal pogo activities. So this tragic comedy could actually get even more interesting in the months and years to come. Shell-shocked by what has happened, kung ano-anong sinasabi ng mga Duterte supporters. Sa isang banda, nagpapaawa sila. Kawawa naman, si Digong, almost 8 years old. Bakit dinala dyan? Well, wag natin kalimutan, just a few days earlier, he was in Hong Kong and he seemed very healthy and strong. And not to mention, last year, dun sa Quadcom,
Kamamatay na ako, hindi na nila ako maimbestiga. So I'm asking the ICC through you na magpunta na sila dito bukas, umpisahan na nila ang investigation. And if I am found guilty, I will go to prison and rot there for all time.
So the bravado caught up with him. The man bought too much into his own legend. And by all indications, the gallery of rogues or yung mga tier 2 people around him were not so effective after all. He came back to the Philippines when he had a chance to stay in Hong Kong in exile under protection of his best friend China. He came back to the Philippines thinking he can get away with it with bravado. Or baka naman, binigyan siya ng false information and basically siguro incompetent lang yung team niya. Shell-shocked, DDS supporters are doing all sorts of things. They're questioning the supposed kidnapping, abduction, or rendition of Digong. But let's not forget, international law is very clear on that. Former ICC judge Raul Pangalangan has made it very clear that there's a clear precedence na actually yung mga international criminals who have been appearing before other courts in other countries, including ICC, they tend to be taken not on a voluntary basis. Historically, the most dramatic one was the case of Adolf Eichmann, who was taken out of his exile or hiding in Latin America and eventually brought to Israel to face justice for his crimes against the Jewish people. In particular, his involvement in the Holocaust against the Jews. And then, more recently, you had the case of Alvarez Machain, a Mexican doctor who was involved supposedly with narcos groups in Mexico, and he was abducted by American authorities and brought to face justice in the United States. But most importantly, and this was the case that was also overseen by our own Raul Pangalangan as a judge in ICC, this was the case of Dominic Ongwen, a Ugandan warlord who was taken, not voluntarily, to face justice in the ICC. In short, when it comes to the ICC, pag na-issue nilang warrant of arrest and may red notice, it is up to the states to collaborate accordingly. And that is what the Marcos Jr. administration has been doing. As far as the jurisdiction of the ICC is concerned, miyembro tayo ng ICC between 2011 and 2018. And yung Supreme Court po natin ay klarong-klaro na may residual jurisdiction ng ICC when it comes to that issue. And despite many delaying tactics by the Duterte administration and earlier in this administration, na-determine ng ICC na they have clear jurisdiction on this matter. Why? Because domestic courts did not do their job. Lest we forget, libo-libo sa ating mga kaubayan na namatay. Not only Kian de los Santos. In fact, there were thousands, potentially, Kian de los Santoses out there. Pero ilan sa kanila had their day in court. Or rather, ilan sa kanila had a court really taking interest in their case. In fact, it's quite interesting, if not hypocritical, for Duterte supporters to cite ICC provisions when in fact it was they who took out the Philippines unilaterally out of the ICC without the concurrence of Senate. Huwag natin kalimutan, we had to ratify the treaty via the Senate and Duterte unilaterally withdrew from that. But of course, because of climate of fear, Senate did not stand up to him back then. Desperate na yung mga ibang Duterte supporters kaya kung ano-anong ginagawa nila. Yung iba gusto mag-people power but last time I checked, parang halos ilang daan lang dumating dun sa kanilang mga rallies all across the countries. And nasaan yung drone shot? And I'm not referring to the peace rally. That was a completely different issue. Yung iba naman, even more interesting, gusto daw nila mag-hunger strike. In fact, may proposal na mag-hunger strike sila hanggang makabalik si Digong. Well, this could take up to 8 years. Good luck na lang sa inyo. Nevertheless, naintindihan ko na marami sa ating mga kaubayan ay naawa kay Digong kasi after all, he's our former president. At one point, he represented the dignity or at least the sovereignty of the state. But wag natin kalimutan sino yung mga totoong biktima. Ang mga totoong biktima ay yung mga libo-libo sa ating mga kaubayan who perish under suspicious circumstances. Nanlaban daw. But last time I checked, Digong himself suspended PNP operations on multiple occasions dahil marami dang scalawags. So how can we say na talaga dun sa mga daming namatay sa mga drug operations ni Digong, how can we say talagang those were justified operations? And even if talagang drug peddler yung isang tao, or even if nanlaban siya, many experts would tell you, you should not go and just kill them. That is illegal, that is immoral, and that's against international law. In fact, Digong may not be the only Filipino who will face a warrant of arrest. As of this taping, Senator Bato seems to be trying to get a sanctuary.
Sumama ka pa! Mag-serve ng warrant!
Involved in the terrorist drug war.
Sumama ka! Ikaw mismo magpusa sa akin!
By the ICC. In short, in principle, sang-ayon yung ating mga kababayan sa dating administrasyon when it comes to the intention of fighting the drug war. But pagdating sa conduct of the drug war, doon makikita natin na pati yung ating mga kababayan ay takot. In fact, I often question how popular really Duterte was. Was he really 97%, 95% popular? How can you really measure popularity of someone when 7 or 8 out of 10 Filipinos were scared na mabiktima sila ng EJK? In that climate of fear, can we trust even public opinion as much as I want to be democratic? In short, distorted po yung war on drugs. It was a voodoo war on drugs. And as we explained in an earlier episodes, mas marami actually nahuhuling droga ngayon, but mas konti yung mga cases of casualties. In fact, many question what was the true intention of Duterte. Listen to no less than Senator Trillanes. Now, hindi ko sinasabi na totoo yung sinasabi ng Trillanes, but at least what we know is hindi effective yung drug war ni Digong. In fact, si Digong mismo ay umamin on multiple occasions na his drug war failed. Let's not forget, ano sabi niya? 3 to 6 months, tapusin niya yung krimen. Diba? Pudol yan. Ano bang dapat gagawin natin moving forward? Well, ayon sa Supreme Court of the Philippines, may residual jurisdiction ang ICC over the crimes committed nung time na member pa tayo ng Rome Statute or the ICC. Pero ang katotohanan dito is we need to rejoin the ICC to have credibility. In fact, the whole process will not have full credibility unless we rejoin the ICC. And wag natin kalimutan, we joined the ICC as a treaty. This was ratified by the Philippine Senate and many legal experts would say na Duterte's unilateral withdrawal from the Rome Statute and the ICC should have enjoyed the concurrence of the Senate, which it didn't. But then again, ano ma-expect natin sa Senate nun? Everyone was in fear of Rodrigo Duterte. It was a climate of fear. So the least we can do, at least in my opinion, is to rejoin the ICC and make a principled stance on why we need justice. At ito yung pinaka-importante. Kailangan natin marinig yung kwento ng mga biktima. Hindi isa, hindi dalawa, pero libo-libo sa ating mga kaubayan at yung mga survivors ng EJK or yung mga pamilya nila. What we need is nothing less than a truth commission, a justice commission, a reconciliation commission. Yun po ang kailangan natin. So hopefully, sa darating na Kongreso, after these elections, we can push for rejoining the ICC as a responsible member of the international system, and more importantly, dapat magsasagawa tayo ng isang Truth Commission investigation para malaman ng ating mga kaubayan ano talaga nangyari at ano yung mga sufferings, yung pains, at ano yung mga talagang trahedya na nangyari sa libo-libo ng ating mga kaubayan. But don't worry, this will not be our last episode on this issue. Mukhang September pa yung first pre-trial proceedings sa ICC, and some would say, dahil napakabigat yung mga kaso laban kay Digong, baka tatagal pa ito ng 6, 7, or 8 years. Some would say perhaps the rest of his life. Historic moments, dramatic moments, and for ICC, which has struggled to get anyone to justice in recent years, warrant of arrest against Putin, warrant of arrest against Netanyahu, not working. Yung mga Taliban leaders, paano mo naman hanapin? But now they have Duterte, and for sure, ICC will also make the most out of this. So abangan, trial of the century.